Well, hey, you guys, welcome back. You guys, I have a very interesting pistol to review tonight. Now, honestly, you guys, I never thought I would find this. This was just kind of, if I see this, I know to get it. But I found one of these. This is a double stack Makarov. This is the model PMM, or this is the one that the Russian Special Forces would have used. I believe it's pronounced Spetsnaz. Yeah, they actually use this pistol. So this is a really cool gun, you guys. This is definitely an interesting piece of history, but this was an attempt to modernize the Makarov, which pretty much dates back in service to 1951 until present use in some areas of Russia and the former Soviet Union. The Makarov has always been a favorite pistol of mine. Uh, Before this, I had this one here. Here's a Bulgarian. And you notice that this is not your average looking Makarov. It's because I have these PMG grips on there. And this here is an attempt to modernize the Makarov because they have a crossbar from the European Hill release. They have a little crossbar that runs in the frame, and what this allows me to do is I have a drop-free magazine. It's like a Western style gun. So this means if I'm out shooting, pop, 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 8+1, and then my gun catches on empty, now I can slide that, grab another one, come in, and then just get back to it just like that. So, and a Makarov is a great carry gun. I have nothing against it. It's just, in my case, if you watch the video I made about a year ago to date, uh, actually, yeah, about a year and 2 days ago is when the review of the Makarov came out on my channel. And I know this pistol was in that review. And this is my best attempt to modernize the Makarov. Now, I did take nail polish and a toothpick, and if you look at those sights, I painted that myself. And that's been very effective. It has not come off in over a year now. So there's an idea for somebody out there that's wanting to do something to the military style sights if you happen to have those. But or you could do that on any pistol that you're just trying to, you know, give a little bit better visibility. But this has been a great gun. And my only issue with the Makarov was if you're shooting it and if your thumbs are up like that, sometimes that safety decocker can come back and hit your thumb. And what's interesting about these guns, you push that piece down to fire. And then when you fire, the slide reciprocates. In this case, it's catching on empty, but when that reciprocates, it could hit one of your thumbs, and when that happens, it flips up. And that's actually how the firing pin comes out and the gun takes down. So I had to teach myself to shoot this gun with my thumbs down. And then once you put the firing pin back in, this little piece here, it aligns, and then it's fine. And you can actually hear it. I can hear it. The firing pin is not, there's no spring. It's free floating within the top of the frame. That's just the inherent design of the gun. But so all I'm saying is when you're shooting this gun, if you have your thumbs up high, it's happened to me. It's happened to a friend of mine. We've had these things disassemble themselves on you in the process of shooting, and it's not just on this sample. It's done it to me on two different guns, and I had a buddy that it did it to him when he was out in the country shooting at a trash can. So that's just something to keep in mind. Try to shoot with your thumbs down when you shoot a Makarov. And if you can't get that in your head, then this is not the best self-defense gun. And when I first made that video about a year and 2 days ago, I titled the video Makarov, a great pistol but a fatal flaw. And that got all kinds of controversy. So I actually retitled that video just because I want to be clear, Makarovs are awesome, outstanding pistols, and they're very collectible. But that is something that you want to be aware of. Now, this is a Bulgarian, and this new one that I found, the double stack, the PMM, it is Russian. Uh, I'll give you a close up here. I don't mind. Found this at a pawn shop, you guys, in pretty good shape. What I gave for it was $285, which is a great deal. These pistols typically go for a lot more. Here, let me get it to focus. I don't know, it's not wanting to focus. There it goes. Now it focused back on me. Focus on the gun. Jeez. Apologize. Well, anyways, it says KBI Cal 9mm Makarov. So this is not the 380 version. This is the 9x18 version. And it is a IJ70 18AH. Now, the story goes around the 1980s, Russia, they're wanting to modernize on their small arm, and the Makarov had so much popularity, uh, they pretty much wanted to give it more power. So they upped the power by 20%. Apparently, they put a fluted chamber in the gun, and then apparently they switched to the double stack magazine. But the Russian double stack, see, these are by ProMag, I believe, and they're discontinued. You can still find these on eBay for around 50 or 60 bucks, but they hold 10 plus one. You get 10 plus one with the ProMag. Unfortunately, I only have two of these. I do not have the original Russian ones. Uh, they're like $140 or so shipped, but you get 12 plus one. And seeing as how this probably will never be a self-defense gun for me, if I was going to carry one, I would still carry the Bulgarian. Chances are I just would have a pocket full of these little 8-round magazines because I have no problem doing magazine change. It's not difficult, but I have to, you know, I stand corrected in the sense that having 12 plus 1 would be a big advantage if I had some of those Russian magazines. Now these Pro Mags, they tend to work fine, and they still catch on empty. Uh, and here's something you can do. You can take the original 8 plus 1 mags, and they, believe it or not, they do fit right inside the double stack. Now that slides around. I don't think it would fall out, but it slides around. Interesting to note, it still feeds just fine. It still catches on empty just fine. And from what I've read, back when these things were being imported in 94 and 95, they had little plastic inserts that would go inside, and that would keep the wobble out of it. So if you didn't have the double stacks, you could just get a bunch of single stacks and you could run with it. Now, this is an export model, so it does have the target sights. And I have painted the front sight white with a toothpick with some nail polish on this one. And this is a very accurate gun, you guys. Here's a 15-yard target for you. One of these groups, they're all in the same hole. So this has been a very good shooter and a very good carry gun if you wanted to carry this. I have had one malfunction on these aftermarket Pro Mag magazines. It's all the magazine's fault. If I had the original Russians magazines, I'm sure that would be just fine. But you know, these are the ones that I have. Maybe one day I'll get a chance to pick up some Russian ones. I'm not sure. If it's over $100, it might not be worth it to me. And these still work pretty good. Uh, I don't know if I'd trust it with my life, though. I'd probably much more trust the original, seeing as how I don't have the original Russian mags. So, pretty much by the time this pistol hit the market, the Russian army, it was rejected because it just was obsolete. Uh, but the police and the Spetsnaz, the special forces, did, you know, use some of these pistols. So that's just a pretty interesting history on the gun. Uh, Definitely a rare gun. You don't see these very often. And when you do see them, a lot of times they're in the 380. They're not in the 9x18. So I just wanted to show you guys this. Please ask questions. If you've shot one, if you know anything about this gun that I don't, please let me know. Uh, just looking around, they go between $550 and $700 today, and that's what I was able to find on the value, but like I said, I paid 289 for this at a pawn shop. I just got lucky. Now I did have to buy a second mag. It only came with one, so on eBay, I think I paid like $57 for this one. And if you notice, I will mention this. These are both by Pro Mag, but this one here is the 9x18 and this one here is the 380. Now, they're practically the same. They both feed like a single stack up here, and then they go into a double stack down here. But 380 and 9x18, they're the same. The difference is those vertical cuts there. This one here, I can squeeze 10 into it, but it's extremely tight. It holds 9 better because this one lacks the vertical cuts. It actually holds 10 just fine. So they both work, but it's better to get these if you have the 9x18, if you are looking around online. But they both will work with the 9x18. It's just this here a little bit better. So you guys, that's what I know. The only other thing to comment on is the frame. Unlike the others, see the frame is high blue here on the Bulgarian. On the Russian, it's kind of a Parkerized frame, and you can see the checkering they put in right there. But you know, it fits the hand good. I'm kind of a big guy, and well, just a nice gun. Shoots real accurate, very accurate gun. It's inherently accurate design. But yeah, I will show you one more thing, just for scale. I have a Glock 19 that's in the battle red warrant on my desk here. This is my current daily carry, uh, and it's hot right now. But you can just see the size of this in comparison to the Makarov. So you know, a Makarov and a Glock 19 are kind of about the same size. The Glock is a little bit longer when I put them together like that, but you know, half an inch. This gun here always stays hot, you guys. This is full of my 147 grain Hydra-Shocks, and I keep it in a holster to cover the trigger. And that's a daily carry for me. But I just thought the paint job was neat. That too is a pawn shop find. But yeah, I'd never pay full retail for that paint job, but when I found it, the price was no different. So anyways, neat gun, piece of history. It's pretty much a PMM, which is, you know, the double stack Mac. So, all right, you guys, well, please like, comment, subscribe. If you know anything about this gun, please ask away. And now I have one section of scripture that I would like to read you guys before I call this video. This is going to make some people laugh, and well, I'll get there. This is in Proverbs chapter 23, and I'm going to start in verse 13. Listen to this. Do not hold back discipline from the child. Although you strike him with the rod, he will live. He will not die. You shall strike him with the rod and rescue his soul from Sheol. My son, if your heart is wise, mine own heart will be glad, and my innermost being will rejoice. When your lips speak what is right, do not let your heart envy sinners, but live in the fear of the Lord always. Surely there is a future, and your hope will not be cut off. Listen, my son, and be wise, and direct your heart in the way. Do not be with heavy drinkers of wine, or with gluttonous eaters of meat, for the heavy drinker and the glutton will come to poverty, and drowsiness will clothe one with rags. Listen to your father who begot you, and do not despise your mother when she is old. Buy truth, and do not sell it. Get wisdom and instruction and understanding. The father of the righteous will greatly rejoice, and he who sires a wise son will be glad in him. Let your father and mother be glad, and let her rejoice who gave birth to you. Give me your heart, my son, and let your eyes delight in my ways, for a harlot is a deep pit, and an adulterous woman is a narrow well. Surely she lurks as a robber and increases the faithlessness among men, and increases the faithless among men. Who has woe? Who has sorrow? Who has contentions? Who has complaining? Who has wounds without cause? Who has redness of eyes? Those who linger long over wine, those who go to taste mixed wine. Do not look on the wine when it is red, when it is sparkling in the cup, when it goes down smoothly. At the last it bites like a serpent and stings like a viper. Your eyes will see strange things, and your mind will utter perverse things. And you will be like one who lies down in the middle of the sea, or like one who lies down on the top of the mast. They struck me, but I did not know. They struck me, but I did not become ill. They beat me, but I did not know it. When shall I awake? When I shall awake, I will seek another drink. Isn't that crazy, you guys? That's just a neat passage of scripture. Lots of wisdom there, absolutely. I don't think I've ever been that drunk. Not that drunk. That's pretty intense. They struck me, but I did not become ill. They beat me, but I did not know it. Interesting. I think there's lots that I could comment on here, but in verse 23, I believe Solomon wrote Proverbs. I think it's safe to say that. Solomon, he says, buy truth and do not sell it. Get wisdom and instruction and understanding. Buy truth and do not sell it. Just a neat passage, a little bit of wisdom there. And speaking about drinking and the sparkling of the cup, and since we're talking about Makarovs, we might as well get the hat and the vodka here. I haven't opened this yet, but I had to get some of this stuff. This is actually a Lithuanian vodka right here, which is very smooth, 40% by volume. This is one of those things in moderation. If you're uh, falling off the mast of a ship or getting beat and waking up and just wanting to drink again, then there's something clearly wrong. But if you're going to drink, drink responsibly. But, well, you guys, Makarovs are great pistols. If you find one at a decent price, pick it up. Uh, until next time, I'll see you guys later.